Hello, I am your host, Kathy Chester, and welcome to the Move It or Lose It podcast, a podcast about all things that move the mind, body, and soul. The Move It or Lose It podcast is for information, awareness, and inspirational purposes only. I am not a doctor, and I don't even play one on TV, so please consult your doctor before making any medical decisions. The views expressed by advertisers, guests, or contributors are their opinions and not necessarily the views of the Move It or Lose It podcast.
So welcome back to part 2 of our interview with your podcast host, Kathy Chester. We have flipped the script on Kathy. So I work with Kathy as her marketing director and web developer, web designer. And I had this great idea to interview Kathy on her own podcast. So welcome back for part 2, Kathy, to your own podcast. Welcome back.
Thank you. You're doing a very good job, Amanda.
Oh, thank you. I'm
You
coming.
can do this.
I'm coming.
Thank you. Good to know. Good to know.
So we had a great chat earlier about, the 10-week program, about the podcast, how
And my hair.
Well, we didn't talk about your hair. Do we need to?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what way it's curling. It's like this way, that way, this way.
Well, you look beautiful, so don't worry.
I won't give a shout out to the guy who does my hair because he'd be like, seriously, don't shout that out today.
Oh.
He'd be like, another day, not today. So go ahead.
So we have discussed the podcast, where it's been, where it's going, the new program, which is incredible. And so there's so much more going on. You are coming back into the public speaking arena. Now, this is something you've done in the past.
Yes.
And something that you had a huge passion for and a heart for. But that obviously, for a while it had to take a back seat while you were growing the MS Disrupted brand. But now we're coming back to it. So tell me how you got started with public speaking and what's brought you back to this spot.
Well, I'll make you laugh. I was 9 and we all know, I've said this a million times, my dad is an alcoholic and they asked me to come speak at AA. So honestly, I swear to God. So I was like, what? So I did it one time. It was a big group and they asked if I would go to another group and do it. And like, I don't really know why they're asking me to do this. So I kept going to the AA meetings and they would ask me to speak about what it's like from a child's perspective, having alcoholic parents. And I'm like, okay, if it helps. So that started my speaking career. And then I would do it like through different things, like in high school and then after, and I would go to different schools and do it like for, especially in fitness. I would help with like junior high, which you can imagine junior high boys in fitness when you're a young female training, doing push-ups and what parts pushing the ground, all that fun. So boys were fun. But then I started to do public speaking as a pastor's wife, and I would do it. I just didn't know where my groove would be with that. I just didn't know what I would like the most. But I really enjoyed actually young adults, and I really enjoyed working with teenagers. That was my favorite. And so talk about like getting thrown into life coaching, that was fast, and into therapy. It was like so much I really, really enjoyed. And I think again, I feel like every experience we have is to be used. And like all the things with my dad and the abuse and all of that, it really gave me so much perspective into young adults and teenagers. And I was really very blessed to be able to help them. But then it also gave lots of speaking opportunities to different churches and different things that they would have, youth group events, and then going into different schools and stuff like that. Then I started to work with the women. I would be then asked to go to different different states and stuff and do speaking engagements for women. I think a lot of it was just learning how to take the Bible and take it, how to apply it into our lives as women. And what does this mean for us? So, okay, I've got this stuff that doesn't make sense. And the priest or the pastor just gave me all this. I don't know how to apply this to my life. And so, as a pastor's wife, I was like, if I would need to know this, I don't understand it. I'm learning it all for the first time. How do I apply this to my life as I'm doing laundry, taking the kids everywhere? So that was a big part of my life. I actually had a ministry called Inside Out. And honestly, I got the name from taking laundry and folding it and taking it constantly. Kids throw it, it's inside out. And I just really felt, I don't mean God came and said, your ministry is called Inside Out. I just felt it in my heart. And so that I felt like once my divorce happened, I really needed a break from that. But then I've just been doing a lot of different things like that my whole life. And with MS, different support groups, going to different places and being asked, would you share your story? Would you just out of hope and just you have, you do a lot with MS people and you do a lot of different events and just, I think too, being able to move gives especially our newly diagnosed that MS doesn't look like this, like what we kind of like what we were given. I was given when I was first diagnosed, this little VHS tape of this lady that could maybe walk slow and being
Mhm.
told, look at the wheelchair, that's going to be you in 10 years. So giving them a very different perspective, like, no, it doesn't have to look like that. And you
Right.
could be like a hot grandma.
Absolutely. I had a very similar experience when I was like early diagnosed. I went to a support group, and as I was leaving the support group, one of the members asked me, "Have you purchased a cane yet?" And I was like, "No. Why?" And she was like, "Well, you might want to it's a little hard to get the hang of. So you might want to just get one and go ahead and start practicing because probably within like the next 12 months, you'll be relying on it." I
Wow.
was like, "What?"
Yeah.
What? No,
Wow.
no. Oh my
So
goodness.
many support, and that's really the thing is like, I always say to people, like, it's kind of like your neurologist. When you're finding one, it's like speed dating. You don't connect, gone. You go to your support group and you don't connect, gone. Because mine, like yours, but mine was in a scooter shop, my first one. I was like looking, kept looking. I'm like, why are we here? And this is terrifying. I'm like 3 months into my diagnosis, very young. And I'm like, kept looking over and I'm like, I've got to get out of here. So, you got to like I mean, I hope there's not a lot of those anymore, but
Mhm.
who knows? You got to find
There's
people.
our group.
Yes, women who disrupt MS. So I would love to, like, I'm always trying to I know there's a lot of guys ones. So when I hear from them, I always give out ones that I know that are really good. But I
Right.
love this one for women. So yeah. So
Um,
that's right now is I'm just trying to I want to go back into speaking. So I put some stuff out for like schools, churches, then I want to get into some corporations and do some of that. So just a lot. I really, really enjoy that. Obviously, I wouldn't have a podcast.
Resilience, and what are some of the things that you are offering to speak on? Obviously resilience, living with chronic illness and chronic pain, these are all topics that you are very
Mm.
passionate and knowledgeable about. Is there anything that I'm missing?
Really in schools and stuff, I really like talking to kids, teenagers and stuff like that about things that you feel like you can't do, things that you feel like, oh, I would never be able to accomplish this. This is way above me. And just like there's always things that you don't think you can do that you absolutely can. Or don't put yourself in a box. There's things you may need to try a little bit harder, or don't think that plan A or B
Right.
has to be it. or nothing's going to work out, because there's
Right.
always C, D, and E. And there's so many other options that like be open to what may be that could be so much better. And I love talking about that. And when it comes to churches, I think a lot the same thing, like grow into who you are. And
Right.
there's going to be a lot of pressure of what everybody else expects of you, but you still are your own person. And that's a beautiful thing. And allow for that to grow into who you are. And then just be able to be okay with that. Because so often, I think in those younger years, then it pops up, we don't even know who that is. And
Right.
so we're anxious to get to that next spot, but take some time to really figure out and learn who you are and what you like and what you enjoy before we all of a sudden jump to that next phase. Because there's a lot we miss because we try so hard to please mom and dad and please the other people that we're with. And so
Right.
take some time and learn what you like, learn what you want to do. And don't feel that pressure to like, oh my gosh, I have to find that person like now. And
Right.
just breathe and take a little bit of time. And really that overcoming in every situation, there's always that, whether it's a home environment, whether it's a sickness, whether it's a sibling that had to take up so much family time because they were the one sick.
Right.
There's so many alcoholism in the family. Geez, that's like here right now, especially after COVID. So there's so many things that typically a school will give me topics that they want to talk about, or things they may ask me, like what are some things that you're seeing
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah, I love it. So if somebody wants to book you for an event, that obviously is available on your website.
Yes.
Go figure. So
Yeah.
it's a way that you can request Kathy to come and speak at your
Yeah.
business, your organization, your online event. You've been through
Yeah.
symposiums and schools and churches, all of that.
Yeah. Business corporations, I would say, are different. It's like what do you do to like what to get your employees excited? How do you keep that going? And as an employee, like what is it that you want to do? How do you want to be seen as an employee? And how do we do like some like, gosh, it's been like before COVID going there. I like look at all my suits that I go in and like try to like do like a workout. And then I would give like the employees like exciting things. Then I'd have a talk with the management, and we talk about like what are some ways that we can get the employees excited. And so
Right.
it's like I'm looking at my suits like I want to wear these again. I want to go speak. So
Yeah,
so yeah, all that stuff.
love it. So along with all, you have so much going on right now in your business, in your personal life, right? You just had a
I
grandbaby.
am the grandma. Yes, and she's beautiful, my little Liliana.
You don't look like a grandma,
Good.
right?
Because I have a lot of things I want to do with her. I look at her little face and I'm like, we're gonna dance, we're gonna go on roller coasters, we're gonna rollerblade. So
Love
yeah,
it.
I gotta stay strong.
Yeah. So you have so much going on. You live every day with multiple chronic illnesses. You have pain some days. What, when all
You're
of
so
this,
cute. Pain some days.
oh, pain every day,
Yeah, I would say, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's not like a day there's not pain.
right? So I'm sure that some of this well, all of it probably feels very overwhelming at times. Oh, we have a guest.
See another, hey, pretty. Hi. Oh,
Ooh,
Sophia's gonna be like, talking to me?
that's Ochsner. Um, when all of this gets very overwhelming, what is your strategy or what keeps you motivated to keep going, to get up out of,
Vodka. No, I'm just
oh,
kidding.
well, listen, I'm a brown
I'm kidding.
girl. Better give me some whiskey or something, but no, I'm kidding.
Um, I would say my relationship with God, I would say my faith, friends, us venting. I'm gonna scream. I want to hug you and punch you. Um, I would say friends, my faith, asking my husband, I need you to pray for me. I'm going to go crazy. And he's like, I'm going to pray for you. And then I want you to go into another room so I don't have to hear you anymore. No, but I think it is all of that. You're really kind of pulling on everything. And then you've got to like go into a space where you're just quiet and you're just like, I need just dark and quiet, not that black dark hole, but just, I need to just close my eyes because I'm not helping myself or anyone else. I'm trying to turn this, but I can't see on here where it is. And where it's just like, where you're not doing anything and you just are like, time out. I have to have some quiet time. And you just
Yeah.
give it to yourself no matter what, because you get to that point where you know that you cross the line and you're not good to anybody. You're not good for yourself or anyone else. So it's like, I love you, peace out. And so that has to happen.
I think you and I we have very similar relationships with our spouses where they just know. Mine will put me in timeout. He's like,
Yes.
I have dinner. I can tell today is not your day.
Yeah.
I'm going to dinner. I need you to go to bed or
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
Go watch a hockey game or read a book,
Yes.
something, just not here. Like,
Yeah. Somewhere other than here.
for sure.
Because I'll ramble on and talk to myself without even realizing it. And I'm like, and I'm mad. And he's like, okay, how about if I get same thing, get dinner and you go upstairs and lay down? And I'm like, okay,
Bye.
yeah. So, and then that's good for not just me, but for him too,
It is.
because he needs
It's
that
really-
peace.
For sure. Oh my goodness. Crazy.
Yeah. So I would say when you're busy like that, or not even, you just have that anxiety, know when it's there and listen. Like if someone you love and loves you is saying it, don't get offended. Take
Right.
it and go take that space.
I'm like, thank you.
Yes, exactly. Because some people get so offended about it. I'm like, no, 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 no. Take it. They love you. Take it.
I feel like that's part of like self-awareness when you have an illness like
Yeah.
or RA and you
Right.
have this pain. There's got to be a level of self-awareness where you're
Yeah.
like, I'm not at my best right now. That
Right.
means that I won't be tomorrow.
Right.
But it's not good for me. It's not good for them. Nobody is benefiting right now from me
No.
and my shitty attitude.
Right.
So you've got to, it's just a level of self-awareness. And
Right.
yeah.
I
So,
just think of like if I had a friend walk in at that point and looked at my face or what was going on, what would they think right then?
right,
Does this look like me? Like what
right.
I represent, my values at all? Or do I look like an insane person running around the house? And then I'm like, yeah, I need to go upstairs and get myself together.
Right. Oh my goodness. So along with all of this, let's just, you have some products coming on your website.
Yes, I do. And this is something that this won't be here anymore. So this is, I loved it. And so it's my old MS Disrupted, and I love the way we did the back of it. I'll always love that.
Yes.
And they'll look similar, but hey, we gotta get a little jazzy with it. So we've got the already on the website, we've got the journals, and I think I have one of them right here. And so those are really fun to kind of get in order. So we've got these already on there. So we got these up there. And then we've got different colors too. So you've got to go and look. So you've got like some that are more toned. So they got like white, white, white. Then it comes down to orange. And then if you sign up for the 10-week program, then there's a completely different one for you guys. So then we're going to have some coming up. We're going to have some caps. We're going to have obviously some zip up jackets. And obviously because it's summer, some t-shirts we're working on and just some fun stuff that you what?
Water bottles.
Yes, water bottles. So just working on some fun stuff that we want to have so you guys can get some swag. So you'll be able to see that coming up. Obviously, you'll see posts and stuff, but they'll be on the website and all that.
You're just growing the whole brand.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too that people don't
Together.
get about swag is like once you do it, you do it. So you really have to know. And like we've had some swag that I'm like, like it. And so you got to kind of pull it out before people are trying to get it. And
Right.
so, I mean, I do like this, but I want to go with different things. And so, I mean, some people have it and good, like love it. I'll still always wear this. But I like that we're adding to it and doing some other really cool things with it. So I think that's the big thing is that people jump on swag before it's ready. And then
Right.
a year later, I mean, gosh, in the gym, people did that all the time. And
Right.
then 2 years, they'd be like, I hate this. I'm like, just wait on it for a bit and make sure you get something you really like because
Right.
it's your brand.
And you've ordered some samples that just
Mhm.
not,
Did
you're like,
not work.
this is not it. We're not putting this on the
Right.
website. So
Yeah.
I agree. But I'm super excited for all of the stuff that's going to be coming out
Yeah.
and all on the
What's your
website.
favorite thing that's coming out?
Oh, um, I listen, I drink probably way too much coffee.
Yes.
So I think once the coffee mugs come out, I will for sure
Yeah.
be trying that. I'll get my journal for sure when I
Yeah.
join the program.
Yeah. Water
So,
bottles, I think, and coffee mugs are going to be really good.
yeah.
Because I mean, hello, I never not have a water bottle.
And of course, tank.
Always, always.
If I live in Arizona and it's
Oh
hot,
God, yeah. I have to have a tank because you know what it is? I'm wearing everybody else's MS, which I'm so appreciative of. They've given me so many beautiful tank tops, but I don't have my own. I'm like, I need my own tank top. So I'm
right,
always grabbing one. So I'm like, I need my own MS. I'm like, it's now March and I don't have my own for March. So yeah,
we're gonna fix it. We'll get it all
yeah,
done.
yeah, it'll be
Well,
fun.
let's work on wrapping this beautiful interview
Yes.
up. You always ask all of your guests this, and so we're gonna turn the tables, obviously.
Okay.
If you had one piece of advice for your fellow MS warriors, whether they are newly diagnosed or they've been,
Mhm.
living with this for a few years, what is your number one piece of advice that you would give to an MS warrior?
Such a good question. I did not even think about this or write it down.
Yeah.
um, I know. Ugh, let me think. So, newly diagnosed or have had it for a long time. I would say probably the same because I feel like that we talked about it a little bit ago, but that grieving that you have when you first get it is a little different because it's a fear and you're not even sure what to grieve because you don't even know what it is yet. You're just kind of hit with like, what is this? And then there's times that you grieve again throughout the time of having this, throughout our life, that it's like little bits and little bits are taken. And so it feels like, okay, I've got it. And you go time and time without anything changing. And then things change. And I would say with that is to learn to roll the punches and learn that this doesn't take over, which you hear a lot. It doesn't take over, it changes things a lot. But learn to see the beauty in the things that MS can not just doesn't just take things away, but it also changes you. And I can say that in my walk with this, and I want you to see this in your own life and maybe use your journal, but it changes your perspective on so many days. When it's a beautiful sunny day, you don't miss it. When you have time with your kids and you really have a beautiful time on a holiday or on just a regular day, you don't forget it
Right.
because it's so big to you then. So I want to say to you that when something like that happens, you can take it and make it like life's over. But I can promise you that my life has been much more fulfilled having this disease because I choose to look at things in a much different way. I don't want to miss anything and lose anything. So you just have to really reframe what you thought your life would be and see things in a much different lens.
Yeah, I agree. That's really good advice.
Oh, good.
Oh, it is. And, we've been through this. You've helped
Mhm.
me through, I just went through a huge grieving process because
Yeah,
my other career, I was in real estate for 10 years and
yeah,
so hard to
yeah,
transition.
yeah,
It was my dream since
yeah,
school. And so giving that up it was devastating, but
yeah,
it gave me the opportunity to work with you. It gave
yes,
me the opportunity to be in this MS community and MS space in a way that is more meaningful than I could have imagined. So
yes,
I think that's really good advice. You kind of just
yeah,
reframe the narrative and change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. That's
yes. I love
my
that.
favorite. Um,
And I believe that us making this change and you doing this with me is going to open the door for more for you to do in this world, because I think when people see the website and they know more that you put, I'm glad you put a tag on there that you did it, because I think that so many of us that are going into this need marketing and there's so few, and you know how many I've been through, and it's like, wait, what? And so it's a very difficult, even having the gym. And so I think that this is going to be a good thing for you.
well, thanks.
You are
I,
very good.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, yeah, this has been fun.
And
This
I
is
tried very hard not to interview you. It was really tough, but I didn't. I tried not to.
No, you did a great job. You did good. So we will wrap this up, Kathy. I'm going to give you back the seat for your next interview because
Okay.
this was a lot for me.
You did great.
It was so much fun, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to showcase you for a change.
Yeah, thank you.
You're always someone interviewing other people, and
Thank you. Do you want to
things.
end it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you know what to say?
Yeah, we're gonna say
Okay.
disrupt MS on
All right.
3. 1, 2, 3. Disrupt
Disrupt
MS.
MS. I never get it at the same time. Let's try it again.
We need a bloopers reel now.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I need that for sure.
Oh goodness. You ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Disrupt
MS.
MS. Close.
We're close. We got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next episode of Move It or Lose It podcast.
That's
Bye.
right. Good job. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Move It or Lose It podcast, where you can again find us every Tuesday, and also wherever you like your podcast, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. Join us on that. And we can't wait to see you again. We're going to have a lot of exciting guests and working together. And as always, you'll hear us say at the end of every podcast, we are stronger together. So let's do it. Let's become stronger together. Have a great day.